Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. The Labour Party has a problem with hate. It is riddled with this cancer of hatred of all things. It is a party of self-loathing. It hates freedom, freedom of thought, freedom of expression, freedom of action. It absolutely detests it. It hates differential. If you do not think exactly the way the party insists you think, it hates you, it will bully you, and it will ridicule you. And when one of the very, very few decent Labour MPs makes a stance on a moral issue, the protection of women, and their own party then attacks them, you have to wonder why Labour does not like to protect women and insists on bullying them. Let's look at this. Labour MP Rosie Duffield likens being in her party to the ordeal she suffered in an abusive relationship after she was jeered by her own side for opposing Scotland's gender reform bill. This is a woman who has on many occasions stood up demanding protection for women and saying that no law should be brought in that allows a man entry to women's safe spaces. And Labour, who constantly go on about equality and fairness, obviously mean equality and fairness, but only for men. Women are no longer important to the socialists of this world. That can be seen because of the socialists in Scotland and now the socialists at Westminster. Socialism just absolutely hates women. And now Rosie Duffield, who unfortunately for her, being a woman in the Labour Party, is going to be suffering for this hatred that the Labour Party and socialists in general have for women. Rosie Duffield dramatically declared that the opposition had a woman problem. She also admitted that she would struggle to tell voters that it was not sexist. A Labour MP has likened being in her party to the ordeal she suffered in a relationship after she was jeered by the male colleagues in the Commons and then ignored by the leadership. She did complain and they did nothing because Keir Starmer has no spine, he has no balls, he is frit. He is like a rabbit in the headlights. He has got zero personality, zero charm, and he wants to be the Prime Minister of this country. God help us. And God help any woman should Labour get into power. She said she's been ostracised by the party hierarchy, including leader Sir Keir Starmer. Well, he may be the man sitting at the top table, but he's not really running that party. It's run by the absolute Marxists. But this was for her views on women's rights and said it was similar to the silent treatment she received from a controlling ex-partner. Her damning words will raise fresh concerns among the public about Labour after the party backed Scotland's controversial transgender ID. Now, it's once again Labour on the wrong side of public opinion. 95%, 99%, something massive like that of people oppose what's happening with these gender laws. But Labour will push because Labour has to. It cannot be seen as going back on the things it's said. But then Sir Keir Starmer is a man who famously refused to identify what a woman was because he is a thick bastard. Anyway, we come back up and there he is, a slimy, oleaginous slug of a man. Zero charm, zero personality. A man with no morals, no bottom, if you like. There's no base to him. He's slithered his way to the top of the Labour Party and has done nothing. But this comes after the Mail revealed 3 of the party's backbenchers this week appeared at a protest alongside a trans rights activist who spent 30 years in prison for attempted M and K. Now I'm going to click over to this story. Bang. So here we have a Labour Party who is basically bullying and ostracising Rosie Duffield, its own member, an own party member, because she stands up for women's rights. Meanwhile, her own colleagues, party members, Labour MPs and other members of the party are seen sharing a platform, congratulating, lionising a man attempting to end the life of a woman. That is how bad it is if you're a woman under the Labour Party. They will congratulate someone who attempted to end the life of a woman rather than stand up for the safety of women. 3 of the party's left-wingers appeared at a protest next to Sarah Jane Baker, who's a man. The activist told the crowd he had been in prison because he was I can't say the word because of YouTube, but it's a V word, you read it. He has now wanted to get into Parliament and invite everyone else round to take pharmaceuticals. This is the Labour Party. They are praising this convicted, attempted Emma of a woman. Labour MPs have been blasted, but not by other members of the Labour Party, for sharing a platform with a man, a transgender activist, a man, who was previously jailed for the attempted M and kidnap. 3 of the party's left-wingers appeared at the trans rights protest next to Sarah Jane Baker, a man who served 30 years behind bars for terrible, terrible crimes. But the Labour Party think that's perfectly okay because he's a man. During the demonstration outside Downing Street, the activist told the crowd he had been in prison because he was dangerous. But now he wanted to get into Parliament and invite everyone round to take these pharmaceuticals. The MPs also present when activists struck up an offensive chant about their leader, Sir Keir Starmer, so even his own party don't like that slug. Last night, the MPs insisted they did not know who Mrs. Baker was, Mr. Baker, shall we say, Mr. Bun the Baker, and did not hear or endorse his comments. That is a lie. They knew full well, but now it's all come out. They're trying to walk it back. The Labour Party has a major fucking problem with women. It hates women. It does not want to protect women. It does not like women's rights. It is offended by women having safe spaces. However, it is very much pro-trans, wanting men to have access to women's safe spaces, and it wants to hang out with men who want to end the lives of women. I'm coming up. How is Sir Keir Starmer going to convince the people of this country that they're safe under Labour? They're not. We see it time and time again. Any woman who votes for Labour is like a turkey voting for Christmas. Labour do not want to protect women. Labour want men in women's safe spaces. Labour want men to have all the rights and all the freedoms, and for women to live in fear. They want to put men into women's prisons, men into our crisis centres, men into DV units. Because, in the Labour's eyes, the best woman for the job is a man. Labour are just wrong in everything they do. Sir Keir Starmer needs to resign. He needs to admit that the Labour Party is in fact now just a Marxist hate group. It's not even a legitimate political party anymore. If the amount of hatred shown by the Labour Party to women was instead shown to, say, black people or Jewish people, there would be an uproar. Oh no, wait, only black people. Because we all know how anti-Semitic Labour truly is anyway. It is an absolute disgraceful political party. It hates women, and it's certainly got a problem with Jewish people. How did this happen? How did a party that claims to be inclusive become just a focus group for every hatred known? Who knows? But I shall stop there. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. Do not vote for anyone who hates you, and goodbye.